Video games have near endless potential when it comes to telling stories in unique ways. You can tell it through text boxes, cutscenes, environmental storytelling, scripted modes, or you can come up with your own crazy way to do it. All of these are very valid, each having your own strengths and weaknesses. However, Ultrakill may have found a new way to combine the strengths of common methods while eliminating the weaknesses. That's right, Ultrakill is more than a mindless shooter, but rather a true masterpiece that may hold the future of cutscenes in games. But before we get to that, let's first talk about Half-Life and video game storytelling in general. Before the time of Half-Life, the sentiment around story in an FPS game was that it was expected but not really important. Usually you would have a box of text at the end of the level, but that was it. Half-Life changes by having a full connected world where you would never leave first person. Not only that, but scripted sequences would happen right before your eyes, like watching a scientist finding out the hard way that the military won't save them. This was mind-blowing at the time and is still great today. This seamless gameplay makes it so you're never not in control excepting one part of the game, which I won't spoil, and you get to further interact with the cutscenes. However, this isn't entirely perfect. Ignoring how much time this must have taken to properly make all these sequences, talking segments get a bit boring just waiting around for a story to happen on repeat playthroughs. Sure, you could parkour all over the room, but you can only get so much fun out of that. This wasn't too prominent in Half-Life 1, but in the sequel, this problem really starts to rear its ugly head. Granted, it still doesn't entirely ruin it, as the boredom for waiting for everyone to stop talking is outweighed by the feeling of freedom you have. This style of storytelling would be built on in different ways, some good and some bad. One of the notable attributes of Halo was that cutscenes would only play if it would be better for there to be a cutscene. You would still have scripted events, but during moments when a cutscene wasn't necessary or there was a lot of dialogue, it would cut away. This allowed you to skip away through dialogue on repeat players while still having a bunch of cool scripted moments. Granted, it sacrificed a bit of the novelty of always being in control, but I still really like it. Something I don't like, however, are games that put you in control but still restrict your freedom, while still mixing in cutscenes. This is mainly done to force you to walk. This type of walk-type cutscene is most notable in Sony's linear third-person games, which is almost all of them. The worst part of this is that you can't skip the cutscenes. Yes, I know you have some big story you want to tell, but this is my second playthrough, so just let me get to the fun part where I shoot people. So we have one good way of evolving the Half-Life style and one bad way. Now it's time we finally talk about Ultrakill. Ultrakill goes back to the classic approach of scripted sequences while always being in first person. It uses the same main techniques to make you look at the cool set pieces that Keto wants you to experience. Sound effects, using the path to put the camera where it should be, you get the idea. However, there's one main change that makes it better than Half-Life. You can skip the dialogue. That's right, if you don't want to hear Minos' monologue about why you deserve to die, you can go directly to the part where you throw hands with him. This immediately solves the problem of you being forced to wait around while a bunch of characters talk about something you already know on repeat players, as you can just jump straight into the action. This also keeps the appeal of everything happening right before you with full control, as the fact that you can move during these cutscenes is often used for pre-boss setups. However, Ultrakill keeps going with good storytelling by using every technique to immerse you in the setting. Ultrakill makes a few crucial changes to the idea of always being in first person. When you go down the elevator, it's technically a cutscene, but the camera doesn't move, meaning immersion isn't broken. Another great thing Ultrakill does is justify a lot of the game mechanics with in-universe explanations similarly to Dark Souls. The game starts with you messing with the settings, which is a form of a firmware update. The terminals can transport matter, which is the explanation for it being a shop. It is also known for grading machines based on entertainment value to footage, which is the in-game justification for the style meter and grade system, as it is recording your gameplay in-universe. The cyber grind is a training simulator, and the healing system is immediately explained in one of the game's taglines, blood is fuel. The game does everything to truly put you in the shoes of V1, with one exception. At the end of each chapter, it tells what happens to Gabriel rather than you, but instead of a cutscene playing, you get some text and a picture that tells you what's going on. This may sound a bit off-putting and repetitive, but I like this. You have to listen to audio in a cutscene at the pace it's said, but you can read as fast as you can. The picture in the background also provides enough visuals for a scene. With anything else, you can use your imagination. And hey, what's a game calling back to old school shooters without storytelling that calls back to old school shooters? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Another part of the story that requires reading is going through books scattered across the world, weapon and enemy descriptions, and terminals. It's a nice optional bonus for people who want to know more about the world, and it's not intrusive so you won't be in the dark if you don't read entries. Once again, FromSoft style storytelling continues to be great. While Ultrakill may not have the deepest story, the way it tells it is absolutely masterful and immersive in a way no game has done. It combines all the best forms of storytelling and continues to build on it, and it would be an absolute shame not to. Not every game needs this, of course. Certain games need certain formats in story, just like how you can't automatically make gameplay better to make the game better. The story must fit the gameplay. However, I'd much prefer this over being forced into a walking animation. No, but seriously, why are you insisting so much to make us walk instead of you can make a cutscene or something? At that point, just have a bunch of cutscenes. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.